Hello and welcome. I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on a music similarity tool, and we've been working lately on the format of the input file, which we're using ABC notation. It's conceptually simple, but there's a lot of moving parts to it, a lot of options. We're taking a simple file that just has an X, which is a reference number, a title, a key signature, and then some notes. And we got through the first three of those, and we're at the point of needing to make the notes work. All right, so let's look at the test first, I guess. All right, so we're going to find, let's call this simple song. All right, so we're going to find a simple song and build it. Our input, you can have arbitrary lines up to that first X. Then there's a title. Actually, you can have more than one title, but we're not dealing with that yet. A key, and then some notes. And we've done a bit to build the expected values. We want these three notes, A, F, G. And we're asserting that we get what we expect from the parser, which is here. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this would be better off up top, but at any rate, we call find tunes on the parser. And let's go there. So we create a parser, and then we're managing a set of states, and we're first looking for an X. You do certain things in that state. Require a T, require a K. We've done all those. Now we're on require notes. We try to run the notes parser, and we set the tune based on those notes. Okay. Our error handling is primitive at this point. I think everything's primitive at this point. The notes, they have a little bit of representation that we want, but not enough. All right, so let's go run that test again. And we're going to crash same place. Okay, did not find expected value. Oh, it's going to take a second here. There we go. So parser position 0. That's not what I expected. Okay. Let's look at our parser. I think this may be we may have an error in our test, or it may be that there's some improvements we can do. And I think our parser, it doesn't improve the message. So the default message is did not find expected value, but we can add a message to that. So we can put the message first and then the condition. So I'm going to change the message to help us out a little bit. Expected C. Okay. And match set. Well, I think I can explain the range better. Expected character in range dot low, I'm assuming, lower bound. Okay. And range dot upper bound. Okay, so let's run our test again. Expected K. Oh, okay. All right. So the expected K, I suspect, yeah, we have this little state machine that first it looks for an X, then it requires a T, then it requires a K. Well, after that, it's supposed to be finding notes. We never set our state to this. So let's do that. Require notes and try again. I'm going to continue. Okay, let's do that again. Just run from scratch. they run? Okay. It's 0.05 seconds, 0.028 seconds, depending what you believe. All right, let's check that in. So we handle tunes with minimal input. Okay. Now this is actually a milestone in a way. I mean, it's significant that we're taking a whole file and doing it. Okay. Now let's find our to-dos and see what we say we're going to do. Parse the notes. Okay. Let's keep track of what we've done. Parse the notes. Well, we did that. The parser was done. We just needed to call it and make sure it got called. Okay. Now, all right. The simplest tune you can write in one line like that. You could actually write a tune that had multiple input lines, and in general, you're terminated by the end of the file or the end of or a blank line. Okay, and we don't do that. We should handle tunes with multiple lines and tunes with we should handle multiple sets of tunes and multiple titles and a bunch of other things we're not doing yet. But I think it's reasonable to ask for a single tune. I mean, a multi-line tune. Let me go to the documentation. They have a set of examples at the bottom. Okay, here's Dusty Miller, also known as Benny's Jig. Okay, so here's the line B, C, D, B, A, G, and so on, and then another line, and then some lyrics. These three lines define the tune. And same down here, you got a couple lines, and then a switch in meter and a line, and a switch in meter again, and another line. Okay, and here's William and Nancy. It's got an A part, a B part. Each one of those has multiple lines and then switches meter and slows down. Okay, lots of stuff can happen. Okay, and then, this one's a huge multi-line one with lots of grace notes. A good bagpipe tune. Okay, so it's very common. I mean, anything shorter or anything longer than a simple kid's song probably is going to need multiple lines or want multiple lines. Okay. Now, so yeah, that's that. All right. So I think, I wanted to find out what we default to for meter and stuff. Okay, empty line separate tunes, all white space. Okay, so it's really like trim. Okay. Continuation, we're not going to do that just yet. It's like so many things. Okay, M meter. M none. When there is no meter, free meter bar lines anywhere you want. Okay. We don't handle bar lines yet either. So, most stuff we don't handle. Okay, so we assume free meter, so I don't have to worry about it, basically. There is a bit of stuff on the line continuation. Let me find that again. Maybe we have to worry about it a little. Continuation. Okay. In music, line breaks in the code generate line breaks in the score, suppressed by a backslash. It acts as a continuation character. Yeah, it's interesting because you can have a line ending in a continuation character and another kind of directive line and then continue that musical line. Yeah, this is another one of these backhanded. It's like you long lines should be allowed, but then they shouldn't. It's like okay. Um, all right. So what I'm curious about is when you put a space between blocks of notes. We don't handle it yet. Common theme. But a space says these are different. They're drawn differently, or they have what they call a beam group, where if you've got notes that are connected by, like, let's say eighth notes are the shortest or the longest one that does this. You have an eighth note. It's got a note head. It's got a stick, and then it has a tail. But if you put two of them together, you can put a bar line across them. And actually, I have that in my file here. So these two, those are eighth notes, but they've got a bar, a beam, instead of what they call the flag, which is a little curly, cute kind of note coming down for each. So two in a row can share a beam, and actually four in a row can share a beam. And there's an implication that there's some phrasing involved in that. So putting four of them together sort of indicates that you think they go together. Or you could write them like this in two groups of two, or you could write single ones, and each one is slightly different musically, perhaps not different in a computer playback or your average computer playback. Okay. Still looking for information on the space. Maybe I should find where the notes, music code, tune body. Let's go down there. Tune body. Okay, we do pitch. We don't do note length yet. We're not dealing with clefs. Beams. Okay. Group without spaces. Okay, interesting. All right. So I'm not quite sure on the end of the line. Do I assume it's, well, I got to assume it's extra. Okay, so let's whoops, sorry. Let's add this. Well, let's change it. Let's just do a couple notes in each line. A, F, F, G. Okay, so my lines is the same. Let me pull this part up. This is more setup of the expected value. And I don't know, I kind of like to have that earlier in the setup section. It may be, well, okay. I don't quite know what we want to expect here. What I say, AFFG? Okay, so let's duplicate this. Now, the question is, these notes, they come in two lines. Is it going to, how's it going to put them together? All right, so I'll just make a claim, right? My claim is, it's just the sequence of four notes. Whoops, sorry. Okay, so I'm going to improve this a little bit too. So let's just say AFFG, map it to, let's make that map to this. And this is $0 is one character off the map of that. Okay. Okay, so I'm taking each one, I'm turning it in. I'll add this down below. Okay, we'll make this expected notes AFFG, and in the assertion, whoops. We'll say it's notes of expected notes. Okay, this should still pass. Oh no, it should fail now. Sorry. How is that working? Let's go see what it does. So where's require K? Okay, require notes. So notes parser is we parse the line and we set the tune. That doesn't seem right. That should only save the last two notes. How is it coming up right? I'm just so skeptical sometimes. Like, I expect a failing test. And I'm not getting it. Initialization, what variable? Oh, that's a bad sign. Okay. Oh. That means our pass was probably not quite kosher. There we go. Okay. So I think... All right. I think what's happening now is we are looking for AFFG, and we are failing. Did it show us the value? You think it would? Oh, here we go. Okay, TUNE-27, the title, key of G, accidentals F sharp. TuneSim.notes is not equal to TuneSim.notes. So our tune does not have a very good picture for us. It would be nice to know what these notes were. Okay, and we can do that. Let's find tune. Find it, tune, that is. Okay, and we have a bunch of things, but note, we should look at notes. Yeah, notes is not custom string convertible. So an easy way to do this is to add this custom debug string convertible, and it implies you have a particular field, and that variable will just add debug description. Okay, and I think we want to say well, I guess we want to map the notes. I guess we'd like to have them separated by spaces. Okay, so nodes dot map so each node we will convert to a string, and separate them, joined with separator space. Okay, so we'll run this again. And Let's see what we get now for a message. Okay. The tune F4G4 is not equal to AFFG. Okay. So that tells me we overrode the line. And I think what that means, the solution for that, it really is, we're being too simplistic. Let's see, notes. Okay. Right now, notes lets you create it, but it doesn't let you update it. And I think we need that. So here, let's find our code. Instead of just set the tune, I think we need to add the tune. Well, let's say add notes. Add notes. All right. So set tune, I don't think it has any callers right now. Find selected symbol. Okay, so I think what I want to do is make sure the initial state is empty. Okay, so the tune, we create one here, and we only fill in the reference number. Okay, so let's go here. All right, the tune is reference number titles and notes. This is probably misplaced. Tune is notes, defaults to empty. Okay, so I think add tune is really the right choice. So what I really want to do is say add tune notes. Oh, it was add notes, wasn't it? Add notes. And the tune. Okay, that's the notes. Well, what do we have here? I want to give whatever's convenient. Notes is, okay. Let's, oops. Let's go here. Should be a make notes parser. Okay. Produces, oh, that's a note parser. Okay. Which is actually going to be more complicated. Make notes parser, okay, is a bunch of notes, and it wraps those in a notes array. Okay, so I guess we're getting notes back. Let's go down. Add tune. Tune is notes. All right. So what do we want to do? Well, we want to say self.tune. Add, I'm going to call that notes. Okay, so I don't need the self now. All right, but tune does not have a member add, so we're going to go add that. I guess that's notes, right? Let's call this more notes. Okay, so we're going to take the notes in the notes we created, add them to the notes for this song. Okay, and oops, function add more notes. All right, and down here, that should be okay now. All right, let's try this again. Okay, hopefully we're closing in. Let's see what the, where's the test? Okay, 27, A4, F4, F4, G4 is not equal to A4, F4, F4, G4. Well, they sound very similar to me. We've built this incrementally, so we know the tune, the title, the work, the number works, the title works, the key works. So there's something about comparing tunes that's not working. And I think we need to go check out how we compare tunes. Just notes. I think we said it was equatable. We did not. Okay. All right, if notes is equatable, we have to define a static function. All right, notes and notes. Okay. Return LHS.notes equals RHS.notes. Okay. Where's that test again? A4, F4, F4, G4 not equal to A4, A4, F4, G4. All right. Let's take a pause in here and see what we're getting. ABC parser tests. Okay, let's run this one. Something may be wrong in our tune comparison. Extension tune. Well, let's make this tune equals tune. Okay, now we can see things. All right, so print LA, whoops. Print the left-hand side. Let's try that. Okay. Print LHS.notes. A, F, F, G. All N key, all octave 4. Do I have the wrong octave on RHS? No. A, F, F, G. Okay. That was unexpected. Swift array equals. I wonder if our notes maybe don't have a good comparison. Note is not equatable. Okay, it is. All right, let's. Well, that sure looked like what we did to me. Here's tune. LHS tune equals RHS tune. Okay, and then tune has type notes. All right. 69A in key, octave 4. Okay. This is true. All the values is going to be equal. 0 and 3, so we need 1. Whoops. Oh. "65F in key 4. 66. Oh. This is F versus F sharp. And that's on us. Okay. That's the test should actually be more explicit. Oh. So I can't quite do it this way. The problem is I don't have an F sharp there. I've got an F in my asserted value. In key of G. That makes it sound like my... So, okay, so if I'm in the key of G and I say F, that should be treated as F sharp. So, I don't know, is LHS... I think that's the note we're reading. But I would have thought that should have been marked up one. Let's check. Okay, and this thing, ugh. Okay, note name. Accidental. Okay, so I don't know how to tell which one I've got for the left and the right, I guess. I would assume this is the right is our test one. Let me I'll change this. Okay, so one went up to 3, the other one went up to 4. All right, so the test is the right-hand side. Always good to know. Okay, so the result, why, okay, an F in the key of G. Oh, the parser, okay, I know the problem. The notes parser doesn't know the key. Now, does that mean the note doesn't? Yeah. Okay. The key is not listed in my debug convertible. Note name accidental octave. Okay. Oops. Do I not remember it? I don't. Oh, I only make the adjustment. Okay. All right. It's really on the parser. We've got the key, but we don't use it. Okay, so the parser, and I'm going to have to split these files up at some point. They're becoming unwieldy, but the parser, it knows the key because it was required to have one, and it's on the tune, but we don't use it with the note parser. Now, I'm not sure if we should or not, because a thing we haven't dealt with at all is there are multiple hierarchies involved. So one of them is kind of the section of the tune, the part, like A part, B part. There are sections within that. There are common areas and then variants depending on first ending, second ending. And then within the measures, there are notes. So that's kind of one hierarchy. Then there's another that says, different, you could have different keys or meters or other things that kind of cut across sections or just sort of interrupt sections. So I could switch to the key of G. I could start in G and switch to D halfway through. And the opening key that we parsed is the one we should start with, and then we should maintain it as we parse. So I don't know how are we going to get that information into the note parser? Okay, I think maybe there's implicit state in here. Okay. I think that is what it is. It's going to have to know, it's going to have to be told the current key. And I think this complexity is kind of inherent in the way they've done things. That they sort of, Well, basically, there's a file header where you can define a default. There's a tune header where you can define a default. And then there's the notes. And then within the notes, you can have another override of the key. And it's sort of sequential from there. So I can start in G, ends in D. But the start in G is really set in the header area, either the file or tune header. And we don't have access to that on any given line. So right now and I think this is the right call. I'm doing the line parsing with the parser combinator package we've been using for a while now. And I'm doing the file parsing by walking through the lines and deciding which one of those parsers applies. And I think that's the right breakdown. So I've got to put some state in. And I think what I need to do is set the current key. And so I believe the test we're doing is driving the need for that. Equals, well, let's find key. In the note file. Okay, interesting. Well, it's really this one. Yeah, that's kind of a compromise too, but it's closer to that one than anything else. Okay, is a key the name of C and no accidentals. I think it's probably really the none key. I mean, there's probably a real difference between C and other, but it looks the same because it has no accidentals. Okay, so I'm going to say there's a current key, and it should be the responsibility of the parser to establish the key. All right, let's go see what our manual says again. All right, so somewhere we have the key. Okay, well, case specifies mode should be specified, major is assumed. You can specify none. It's possible to use no key signature. So I don't know. I think that's the same. I mean, the key of C is no sharps, no flats, so it looks the same as none. I think maybe I'm worrying about a distinction that doesn't matter. Distinction without a difference, I think is the phrase, right? We start in C. If we're parsing a K line, we should establish that key. Okay, so up here, the notes. Where's the parser? Is it defined up here? Okay, it is. Okay, so let's establish that on the parse line too. Okay, so we set the key on our tune. Let's tell the parser key equals, and then key. All right, and then in the parser, what's the matter? Cannot assign key as a method. Oh man. Oh, I think I called it current key, didn't I? Okay. In the parser, the notes parser, make note parser. Okay. Sharps and so on. Somewhere there's the key. Build note. return note. Oh, we did not apply a key here, so let's do that. Note in the current key. Okay. And we'll do one more build. Clean run. All right. I'm going to say we did it. Okay, so handle multi-line songs. Okay. Now, to do parse one song. Okay, so I think we've done that. It's got restrictions, but allows multiple lines. Right. Okay, so I think I'm going to demonstrate. I'm kind of overloading this test and letting it drive a lot of things. I'm going to do the same thing and demonstrate that it should stop at a blank line. Okay, there should still only be one, but the blank line should be ignored and treated as the start of the next thing, really. And this I think will fail because it's looking for letters and finding spaces. At some point we will allow it. Okay. Out of range. And it's really the parser's fault here. Okay, so where's get down to our file parser. Okay, fine tunes. So we're in here. We've got a line. It doesn't make sense to parse this if it's a blank line. Okay, so I think we need to check before we go anywhere. Okay, so if line dot, and I think we trim characters in white space. What do they call that? I think I've used this before. Like yesterday. I should remember it, but I'm sorry. Yeah, dot white spaces. Okay. So if a line is white spaces only, we want to do something special. If it's empty, okay. Well, basically, if it's empty, we don't want to attempt parsing it, and we really should go back to our initial state of looking for the next song. So the state should become this. Now, whether look for X. Okay. So I think that should pass. Okay. Blank lines terminate the set of notes. All right. Okay, so I think what we want to do, let's handle multiple songs. And then I think we maybe already have the code in place by now, but let's make sure that it works. And then we got some cleanup to do. There's there's too much going on here in one file, and just very easy to get lost. Okay, so this is, let's find test builds one simple song. Okay, and then let's make another test that's going to be similar. Test builds multiple songs. Okay, and I'm going to simplify. I trust that reading the start of a file works, and so on. Let's make a B flat just for fun. And F, G. Well, they're not required to be in order, so let's do that. Key of C. And F, C. Okay. Oh, man. I'm making myself pay with this, aren't I? Let's make this key of C as well. Okay, so I can do this. C is C with no notes. And I don't know, normally you would list C first. Okay. And the expected notes, well, we have A, F, 1. And we're allowed to not have any notes? Maybe we should do that here. Well, no, we said we would. Okay, I'm sorry. Again, we're shortcutting the format a little bit. But I think I can reuse these. Okay, expected notes 1, AF. Expected notes 2. Can I find any buttons on here? Okay. AF map key. Oh, got something going. Key of C. And then expected notes 3. Is FC. Key of C. Okay. Got the lines, do the find tunes. We expect to find 3 tunes. Result 0 is that. One, 2, 3. I don't know, 0, 1, 2 might be a better way to go here. Okay, this one's, let's see. My overall input, 27, 28, and 2. 27, 28. And this was another title. 2. Third title. Key of C. Key of C. Expected notes. 0, 1, and 2. Okay. 0 is not equal to 3. Expected character in A through G. Let's just run this one. All right. The other thing I'm seeing here is our error messages. Expected character in A through G. Okay. Who does that? Is that Note? No, it's got to be the parser. Whoops. Okay, so I guess it gets here. I think it'd be nice to know which column we're talking about, but also we can put a string here, a message expected a note name A through G or A through G. Okay, I think we can improve the message. Oh, position 0. I'd really like to know what line I'm on too. Okay, expect a note name A through G or A through G. Now, what? Oh, yes. Is that... Sorry, let's go down to our parser. Okay, so let me move this out of the way. And I think even that out of the way. Okay. The line. Okay, so we want to get back to a look for X. We require notes if we find a blank line, we're looking for that. Okay, let's break here and run that test. This test. Okay, so we should come in here the first time. The line should be AF. Okay, the line is AF. And that one should be okay. So I'm going to continue. Okay, now this one, x28. Why are we here? Let's check our input again. All right, I'm going to run this test again. I am not where I expect it to be. Okay, so the first time I expect string of line is going to be AF. Okay, let's step over. Okay, so it should be in our else clause. Oh, why are you down there? Okay, so I don't know how it decides. Like the window you've got open is not really good for this. Okay, but we're there. Okay, the state should still be the require note state. Okay. Print line. Wait a minute. We're not even in the right test. Test builds multiple songs. I wonder if my line is not empty because, wait a minute. How do you run without? There we go. Okay. String of lines should be AF. Okay. If we step over, okay, we're going to parse the notes. Step over again. Okay. So the state should be the same. If I continue, I don't think I do anything up here. I don't look at anything on the line itself. Okay, so I'll step over around again. I'm in the next one. I should be able to see line. What happened? I wonder, is it not either my trim or maybe the triple quota thing is not working the way I thought it did? Because my line is X28. It never even stopped at the empty line. All right, let's find out. First, empty, empty. Okay. I guess I'm doing a split somewhere, right? Lines is substring. Oh, it's a separator. I think I have to put a flag on split. Omitting empty subsequences. Wow. Okay. And notice this is just purely a test thing too, which is annoying. Which also means I may not have got this one working right either. Okay, let's run all tests. Whoops. Must proceed where separator. Okay. Count. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's continue. This is better, I think. All right. Something failed its assertion. Let's see what this is. TUNE-22 A4F4 is not equal to TUNE-28 key. Oops, I didn't update these. I made them 1100 so you could tell that they weren't aligned. Okay. Let's remove this breakpoint. Continue. All right. We allow multiple songs in a single file. All right, we've been going a while, so I think we are due for a break. We're at the point, well, I guess we could say it in our to-do. Parse multiple songs. Yes, we do that. Okay. And that's a good thing. Whoops. That's where we want to be. What we need to do now is some refactoring. I think we've got some real places that need some work to do that. So I think we will come back and refactor. And I think at this point, I don't think I need this anymore. Any of this. Okay. I think if we clean that up, then we're going to go back to our parsons code and do these picture ones and make that work the way we want. I feel like we've taken a few shortcuts. I don't doubt. I mean, I absolutely know we have. So at some point we got to go address those. But I think maybe we're ready to move to more of a client side and make sure we're providing the right stuff for that. Okay. Some of these tests do test the parsons code stuff, so I'm not worried there. But we'll have to see on the rest. All right. So anyway, 3-minute break, and we'll come back and refactor and then move on to the parsons code stuff. All right, welcome back. So our goal is to do some cleanup on our parser, and let's start there. Okay, the easy one is we've got these classes that really should be in their own file. So let's do that. Extension tune. Okay, so let's make a tune. I think I can close this safely. Switch file. Oh, surprise. What's that? Cannot find tune in scope. Oops, oh, went away. Okay. Make sure this is good again. All right, so let's commit this. Add a new file for tune. Okay. All right, fine tunes. All right, that's okay-ish. I don't mind. Sorry, this being there with it. Oops. Okay, this should be down here. I mean, it is the parser state that we're looking for. Yeah. All right. So this thing, parse it. I guess I can check in while I small bites. Okay. Oh, I guess move enum within file. The problem I have, this thing has gotten so massive, I just don't know. Now make note parsing like this, I mean, it's already 20, 30 lines. It's nowhere near done. Let's go back here. Well, I think we can see it in the examples well enough. Yeah. I mean, the notes, Z4, we don't know what a Z is. We only know A through G. There's spaces. There's bar lines. There's this stuff. There's exclamation things and colon E4. Like, what does it mean? And these lyrics within the same as the Oh, verses one. Okay, interesting. That's not all of them by any stretch. Okay, they got the numbers A2. That one's pretty straightforward. We could almost do that one. Kitchen Girl, that's a nice little tune. More numbers. Got the colon bar line thing, which is another one. It's like, oh, if you don't have a preceding one, just assume it's there. Like, oh, thank you. We got less thans. We got these braces again. $. I don't know what that is. Oh, line break $sign. So it's an alternative character. Yeah. So there's parenthesis 3. Yeah. So there's just stuff going on. And so that routine's just going to grow. There's nothing here that's going to make it shorter. And I don't know, we can find somewhere there's something that says like, oh, the complexity is there's grace notes followed by something, followed by the note itself, followed by rhythms and slurs and ties and this and that and the other. It's it's a lot. And I'm already not happy to read 20 lines, you know. um so I think I want to pull out these parsers. There's also something going on with the keys. Like somewhere we make a structure that has all the key signatures. Maybe that's this. That's going to get more complicated. Okay, this make accidentals I think is really make key signature accidentals. Find usages. Key to accidentals. Okay. I'm gonna rename this. I think it's really like make key signatures, make key dictionary. Make key to accidentals map. Okay. Let's see this. Can I extract this? That's part of. Okay. I want to extract out the note stuff. All right, so I think what I'm saying is I want to make a note parser class. And yeah, so I want this in there, I want that. Make keys. Maybe I need a key signature class. They're non-trivial. Yeah. All right, let's do that. So shared, I want to distinguish. I really have multiple levels going on here. So the parser is the parser level. The note is the note level. Parsons code is kind of a client level. And then there's some user interface that we haven't dealt with yet. The fundamental level is this. So I'm gonna call it domain. Domain. And then I'm gonna make one for parser. New group parser. And then another one for Parsons code. Okay, so I think the order should be complete opposite. Okay, let's make sure that works. I think I've already Made two changes there. Okay, so rename method, move Parsons code class into its group. And then domain, well, this one goes in here. These two go in domain. Notes, tune zip app. I'll leave that up top. Oh, tune is definitely a domain. Okay. And then the tests kind of have the same field, don't they? All right, let's make a group for domain and a group for parser. And a group for Parsons code. Okay, note is domain. This one I'll leave up. Whoops. This one I'll leave up top. This one I'll leave up top. Ooh, maybe more specific would be better there. ABC parser. Okay. Move the tests in groups as well. Okay, now my parser is way too big. 300 lines. I know it's not that huge by a lot of standards, but it's more than I want. Okay. Notes need keys, and I think keys need notes, so they're kind of tied together. Maybe the parsing is not, though. The classes are, and they're in the same file for that reason. Accidental key note. I don't think it'd be bad to pull those out either. All right, note also had Committee note number half steps. Where's that used? In note, okay. Note, note, note. And this is key. And I don't know how it decides what order to put things, but I'm going to do it like this. Note, okay. Okay. Something's weird. Okay. Huh. Take a look here. I think I just edited some spaces. All right. I think there's domain knowledge about the key signatures. Ooh. Yeah, there's domain knowledge about the key signatures that's independent of the parser, and I don't think we've expressed that very well. Let me just check that in. I think it was just a spacing. Okay, and then I get this warning. This is from the upgrade, and I tried it offline the other day. It didn't go well, so I'm not going to mess with that right now. All right. Can I... Let's see. What's the right way to do this? And these are kind of handy standalone functions. They're not really part of the ABC parser exactly. I mean, they're useful. Okay, but make note parser, that and build note, that definitely seems like its own thing. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so new file. Note parser. And I don't know, I did this the other day with the other parser. Don't remember what was tricky about it, but there was some little issue. Okay. One thing is make note parser. Yeah. Okay. Let's take this. I'm gonna copy these, put them in here. Cannot find bind. Okay. Import pcombo, which is our parser tool. Okay. And then any of the one-ofs and all that stuff is cannot find match. Okay. So I think I almost think I need to move these up to the global level. I think it'll let me. Cannot find match in scope. Cannot find current key in scope. That's a bit different. How am I going to manage that thing? Let's go back here. So when he wants to build a note, that's this build thing. He uses current key there. Let's make ABC parser know the note parser. Well, it kind of does. We call that. Let's call. Yeah, the problem is I've got this state floating around. Where does it belong to? This is the parse function for the note parser. If I do that. That one's going to go away. This one is not. Okay. Now I want to take out the make note parser. All right, let's take this much out. Okay, can you work like that? Two failures. It's going to be something about the key. Interesting. Okay. Apparently our stuff is not smart enough yet. Hmm. Okay. I don't know if it's similar to the problem we had before. The key is not really right, or if I've messed up this current key. The question is, like, when is this current key being bound? Is it bound to the value it had at the start? Notice the one that messed up is the key of G. So let's see. It's got current key. And this function, it's defined here. The parser's defined to call it. But I wonder if it's capturing the key, current key here. Make note parser goes to bind character note. It's like, see, I wonder if I should pass in the state at this point here. If I pass in the state here, I can pass it to build note. Okay, and I'm also confused. Something's still not. I think my notes are not really writing themselves out right. I think this should tell me it's an F sharp because it's in a key that says it's a sharp. Because I feel like one of these is probably coming up with an F natural is the difference, and we can't really tell. Right, we looked before and the MIDI number was different, but the note spelling was the same. Okay, so let's look at note. I mean, the simplest thing would be to put its number in the description. Okay, and I will do that. Number, is it MIDI note number? Nope. Note value. Okay, let's do that and run these tests. Oh, where did that information go? Okay, G, A4, 65, 65, 66, 66. Okay, so my intuition there is right. Why is it listing the key as G? Well, that comes from the K lines, so that's going in, but it's not picking it up. Okay, yeah, this is the kind of... And this is the key. Okay, I'm gonna change this. I don't know. Build note. Okay, I think I can say this is a parser that, well, it reads characters. I think I'm going to say it's going to give you all right, character. I think it's going to be a stream of characters and oh no, I can't do it that way. I want to give you a stream of characters and a key value and let you work with that. Let's go look at bind. Okay, so I don't know, there's not much here. It makes an array slice of input, and I don't want that. All right, I don't know if I'm being clear on the problem or what I think the problem is. I think the problem is you create current key, you default it to C, and then you build the parser, and in doing that you pass the build note function. Build note, in effect, it's like a lambda kind of thing. There's a capture because this variable is not an argument. So I think it's capturing the variable here while it's still C. And you come in later and say, okay, the variable's now G. It's not going to get the true current one. It's going to get the other one. Now maybe let's see. I'm going to see what key is. Well, I guess if I go to note and here, key is a struct. Okay, so a struct is a read, well, it's a value object. Maybe that's the way to say it. And I don't know. It's like, how do I pass an extra argument in? It's okay here, right? We've got this type corresponds to the type coming out of the grammar, the accidental string stuff. The character is the type going back, is an array of characters. Sorry, that's, what is that? I guess that's the input stream. And then this is the result type. Oh, character is the octave modifier, so quotes and stuff like that. You all are allowed to speak up with suggestions, as always. All right, so let's get to ABC parser. It creates the notes parser really early. And then down here, it tries to do the bind. sorry, it tries to set that current parser note parser main current key equals key. I wonder if I made, I don't know, is key, I wonder if I need a class is kind of what I wonder, if it would keep the reference to the thing, but then I could change that. Let's try that. I don't know, it's an awkward way to do things. Okay, so note parser. I'm going to say this thing is, let's make a class. Key holder. And it's got a key of type key, bar key of key. Okay. And okay, let's make an initializer. Okay. So what I'm doing is putting a level of indirection in, and there's a quote from A.J. Perlis, who was kind of like in the field in the 50s doing stuff like this, or, actually an early AI researcher that said, every problem in computers can be solved with another, or software can be solved with another level of indirection. I don't know that he said it in the 50s, but he'd said it quite a while ago. All right, so what we're doing is adding a level of indirection. Instead of current key being a key, I'm going to make it be a key holder with this. And now somebody's gonna hate that here. Okay, let's do key holder. What did I call it? Current key still. Okay, let's do current key dot key. Okay, that should be okay. Somebody's gonna fail in the parser though. Who's current key? Let's see. Dot key equals key. We'll improve this if it works. Okay, so now I'm saying the holder changes the value. Oh, not working. $65, $66. All right, what have I done wrong? This references current key dot key. Oh, maybe my initialization is key holder of key name of C. All right, let's stop in here and see what we're looking at. And we're going to stop in here, see what we're looking at. Okay, we'll run the first one. All right, so let's print note parser main dot current key. Okay, initial value is C, and if we do a step over, it should become G. 1 sharp key of G. Okay. Now I'm going to continue from here. Okay. we're calling build note. Accidental note is no accidentals, A4, and empty array. Okay, so A4 is not gonna care. Oh, AFFG. Okay, good. Let's continue again. All right, now this one is F4. Okay, notice there's no sharp, but let's see what the key is. Key is C. Okay, well, that was my suspicion. Now, what is... Wait a minute. Did we not hit that line? Okay, I'm going to run it again. No, I'm going to step out here. ABC parser. P note parser main dot current key. Okay, there's the deal. So inside the method, it thinks the current key is still the original key. And outside the method, the person who holds the parser main thinks the current key is G. Notice both of them are asking current key dot main. Now, why is there not... I don't know. Usually I get asked about escaping and stuff. So what if I did self.current key? I don't know if that... Let's try that. Okay. I've got C5. For a second, I should get that junk out of there. That one failed, that one failed. Okay, nuts. How do I get... Swift, make lambda get get current value instead of captured one. I don't know. Value instead of reference. Okay. Default parameter? I think they're not doing Swift. Okay. C sharp. Yeah, I want by reference. Okay, I think I'm starting to get out of the Swift stuff. Okay, well, yeah, capture references from the context in which they're defined. Type, I'm not worried about that. Implicit returns. That's all good. Capturing values. Okay. A nested function written within the body of another function captures it. Okay, yes, I believe that. Right, I mean, we're doing that. Okay, implicitly using them in the body of the closure, but in this case you need to be explicit. An escaping closure refers to self needs consideration if self is an instance of a class. Instant dot do something. Okay, print instance dot x 200. Completion handlers dot first. If self is an instance, you can always refer to it implicitly, but can't capture a mutable reference to self once it's an instance of a structure. I don't know. If we change some properties before calling it, the sum inside the closure is no longer 8, but it's the sum of the new values. Print 8, even if the properties change, I think we're going the wrong way there. Alias equals. Simple reference to be requires explicit self dot. Excuse me, just a minute. All right. I really thought the self dot was gonna do it. Okay. Current key dot key equals key, and then why did this not? Okay, let's run this one again. Okay, here we are in the K. Let's print note parser main dot current key of C. Okay, and then let's stop here. Okay, and the line is, well, print string of line AF. Okay. Now we're going to do parse it on notes parser. Which is the parse function we defined. Okay, so note parser is this one. Well, that got called early. So note parser is, okay, I'm going to continue. Get here. All right. So now print self. That's an interesting one, right? Current key is C. B60. That is the same. E190. Is that what they said up there? Triple E190. Okay, so self does not get me to the current instance. It gets me to the instance that was created, apparently. And bind takes an input. Let's go back to bind. I don't know. I know I'm in trouble if I'm looking at this. I want to say, okay, bind says it's going to be a slice of input. Let me look up in here. Let's print note parser. And that's a function, right? So no, it's a bound object. Bind character note. I don't know. Maybe I can find something else in here. Maybe this is better than I'm thinking. When you use variables from surrounding context, we capture them inside the closure. A, B, return A plus B. Like, what bugs me is I can't get the current value in there. Golly. Okay, taking off self did not help any either. I'm trying to think of a way to, like, can I call build note later? Like, what if I had a build note that took the current key? And I'm more in a spike at this point, I think. All right, so that maps all that. That maps that. Okay, so that's accidental note base octaves. Now, if I want to say current key, no, how do I want to do this? I want to say make build note, almost. Build note. And you give me a current key of type key, and I give you back this. Is that? I don't think it's legal syntax. I got to put a paren somewhere. What's the problem here? Invalid declaration. No. I mean, you should complain. Missing return. Yeah, that's legit. Okay. But I didn't get the key in there. Oh. Oh, how can I get this thing? This. External to return type external. All right. So, well, what I'm trying to do is this thing of an internal function. Current key is supposed to be a key. So there's no current key dot key. It's just current key. I don't think that's going to solve it. Can I do this? An argument of the return. I don't know what that means. Does it mean it wants it all in one line? It does. Okay. Well, what I think I have here I'm working hard for it, I guess. Okay, this function, if you give it a current key, it produces a function that can convert that horrible type into a note, which is what build note calls. Now, without build note, the type of this thing is the horrible type, accidental, etc. Okay. I don't know if I'm closing it or not. What my hope was that I could call this function okay. I wanted to not call this function here and just return the result. Okay, I don't know. I'll try it. We got 6 minutes, right? Okay, so let's take this and duplicate it. make note parser original. Okay. And now this one, the type, I'm going to take off the build note. And this better complain, right? Because this should expect this horrible type. Cannot convert value of horrible type. Okay, and I think the horrible type boils down to this. Instead of producing notes, we're producing optional accidentals with paired with strings and hints and a list of characters. He's not buying it. Cannot convert to bind character note. Okay. That goes up here too. Okay, so I'm saying my note parser is going to produce this type. So that affects this thing now. Note parser. Why he's not complaining, I don't know. But it should be complaining about this. Okay. Now, that's the usages. Make notes parser. Oh, it's still too early. Ugh. I don't want to change my whole parsing approach, but I'm in trouble. My input type on a bind. I don't know. See, I think the thing is with parser combinators, I'm supposed to be passing in the whole state should be passed in at once. Okay, takes input. Okay, what's parser combinator? It takes a function that takes input of a raw sequence and returns meaningful data or an error. And we do that. We say we take a slice, which is like an array of characters in our case, and produce that stuff. Okay. I feel like I'm at a dead end on this approach because my note parser, like, I need to call something that's going to get the current key signature, and I don't have that here either. And so I'm going to go through the same process here. And then I feel like, oh, when we start doing measures and sections and parts and everything else, they're all going to want this same thing. It would have been interesting to define the parsers to take state, explicit state, and pass that in. And I suspect there's a way, but I don't know the way. So what I'm going to try... I don't know. I really don't know what to try. Okay, well, that gives me something to think about for tomorrow. So tomorrow, Wednesday, we will pick up from here. The time's going to be 1 to 3:30 p.m. Eastern and 6 to 8:30 p.m. UTC. Actually, I think I have an appointment partway through, so we'll probably go about an hour, hour and a half. I'm going to revert this last check-in just to prove I can. And no, I'll revert these two. We'll discard this and try again tomorrow. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So anyway, thanks for joining today. And we got something done. We've got simple tunes parsing. We've got something going on with splitting the state across the note parser and the main parser. I think what we'll try, unless I have a better idea tomorrow, we'll try moving that state back to the main parser and only keeping it there, and maybe pass a reference to the parser to do that. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, take care, and I'll hope to see you in the future. Bye-bye.